If you guys enjoy what I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it's free and easy to do. Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Nostalgia, the person, not the feeling, has been looking for the Warrior of Light because something very bad has happened, and there's not much time to deal with it. A rift is opened up in living memory, and there's no telling what will happen if it's not taken care of. Unlike most requests that people make of you, this one is actually serious, so you head to living memory to meet up with Nostalgia and deal with the problem. Since Zoralja has been put down, Nostalgia and her group Oblivion have been putting a lot of resources towards studying living memory. They've built some remote control sentries that they can pilot from the safety of their own office, which means the only person who is actually going to be in danger during this little adventure is you. While she was surveying one of the areas, she had run into one of the Endless. He had given her a tour of the place, and that was when they had found the rift. The Endless had been standing watch over the thing, so the two of you head off to meet him. The Warrior of Light and the Endless, known as Constancy, have already met, so the introductions can be skipped. He's also not mad about the fact that you sent his queen off to the upper room, since he would have preferred to die than get immortality the way that Speen had been trying to give it to them. He's not sure why he hasn't vanished like the rest of the Endless though, but he's glad that bit of weirdness let him find the rift before he vanished. The rift leads to a lost district of living memory. While the place is currently only made up of 4 districts, there used to be quite a few more of them, but when someone tried to make a bridge between their world and another one, a few of the districts vanished. One of them was an entertainment district called the Dream Borough, and that's where the rift leads to. Constancy and Nostalgia had taken a step inside of the rift to see exactly what was on the other side, and they were immediately chased away by a small army of very real ghosts. The place had been separated from living memory's ether for decades, so none of the Endless who lived there would still be alive, and without them to take care of the place, the Dream Borough has turned into a city-sized haunted house that the creatures inside call the Stray Borough Deadwalk. Having that corrupted place reconnected to living memory likely won't be good for the city, so Nostalgia wants you to go through the rift and figure out how to close it. The Warrior of Light rarely says no, or anything else for that matter, so she agrees and steps through the rift into what the 13th Gate haunted house wishes it was. The Deadwalk is what you'd get if all of the evil hidden so deeply inside of the House of Mouse took over one of their theme parks and tried to eat all of their guests, which actually, when you say that out loud, sounds like a really cool theme park, outside of the whole fear of death from violent stuffed animals and haunted roller coasters thing, which are all a big part of what you have to deal with inside of the Deadwalk. The further you go through the Deadwalk, the weirder things get, forcing you to fight a literal possessed tea set and giant dolls that'll be familiar to anyone who's been to the Antitower dungeon. It all ends with you fighting a giant Oogie Boogie from the Nightmare Before Christmas. When you beat it and get back to Nostalgia and Constancy, the recap of your trip is a lot more dangerous than she had expected it to be. Constancy, however, isn't nearly as surprised about it since it kind of fit with the theme of what the place used to be, minus the actual near-death experiences. Back when the Dream Borough was normal, it had a place in it called the Endless House, where they put on shows that used volunteers from the audience. These participants would be given the job of rescuing a princess from Traumaray, the Lord of Nightmares, which was the rip-off Oogie Boogie that you fought. He figures that all of the creatures were brought to life by the memories of the Endless who used to live there. Even the theme park itself got a mind of its own, all in hopes of putting on a final show that would give the people trapped their freedom. That's all a theory, but since the rift vanished after your battle, it seems like it's a pretty good one. With that done, Constancy finally thinks his mission is complete and he'll eventually fade away. He heads off to take one last look around his home before he fades into eternity, while Nostalgia and her organization continue to see what mysteries they can uncover in this very strange place. This concludes the story of the Stray Borough Deadwalk. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Grab a copy of my novel on your way out, and I'll see you all next time.